Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode with Innovation. In this video we will talk about the project we did, Alegria The Crown. So we're going to first start with Anne-Séguin, the set designer, that she will explain to us what was her vision for this project. And we will talk as well with Christian, that was the technical director on this project.
Sur Alegria, mon rôle était vraiment, je jouais le rôle de la scénographe, donc je travaillais l'architecture de l'espace dans un contexte de chapiteau. Et c'était vraiment de développer un nouveau langage qui était suite à une grande tournée de 2 décennies, même 3, je pense, de Alegria. Donc, c'était développer un nouveau souffle et aussi une nouvelle esthétique de l'espace pour à la fois accueillir des nouveaux et des anciens numéros, mais à la fois donner un coup de neuf à cette production-là qui est vraiment importante pour le Cirque du Soleil. L'inspiration première de cette couronne-là, c'était vraiment de trouver un mouvement dans l'espace et une architecture qui nous permettait un peu d'identifier le pouvoir. C'était aussi une façon d'établir un genre de palais, parce qu'à la base, la scénographie d'Alegria voulait identifier un grand palais, un grand espace de pouvoir déchu. Donc là, on arrive avec cette forme-là qui rappelle un peu les couronnes. Fait que même dans les recherches au début, c'était ça. J'avais travaillé des petites structures qui étaient vraiment proches de l'orfèvrerie, donc dans la miniature presque. Puis je trouvais que c'était intéressant aussi de retrouver cette miniature dans la forme. Puis moi, faire en sorte que l'esthétique de l'objet reste belle, qu'on ne voit pas les assemblages. Ça aussi, c'était quelque chose que je tenais beaucoup. Alors, quand on l'a développé, la chose avec la chargée de projet, c'était de dire comment on fait que toutes les petites mécaniques font que ça reste inattendu et élégant, qu'on ne voit pas exactement où ça se sépare, puis qu'on garde ça fluide. Puis il y a tout aussi l'aspect esthétique qui vient par-dessus, que c'était important pour moi parce que dans ce contexte-là, on avait aussi l'application d'un travail d'éléments organiques qui venaient se greffer à votre structure. Fait que moi, ce que je trouve intéressant dans le défi de tout ça, là, au-delà du design, là, c'est de faire en sorte que tous les départements, on finisse par s'imbriquer puis faire en sorte que c'est un objet, puis c'est pas un objet qui perd en fait de sa poésie, malgré le fait qu'il y a 5, 6, peut-être 10 fournisseurs qui ont touché en bout de ligne.
On Alegria, I was the technical director for the production. So I was in charge of all the project managers and the drafting team for that project. The design of the crown from a set designer, Anne-Séguin, was really tricky because of the double curve in the structure, and we wanted to keep the fluidity of the lines without adding too much dressing. Like, for example, having a 12 by 12 dress visually would be very heavy. So that was one of our main goals visually. For sure as well, our other parameter was the setup and the strike of the structure safely in a good timeline as well. Well, the installation had to happen within like 4 to 6 hours, fully dressed up. As we know, there was a lot of different vendors, a lot of coordination to be done. The structure, the decoration, the vines, the spikes, the lighting additions, a lot of integration. So I'll consider it needed to happen quick. Yes, the other tricky part is we wanted to do that, the install and strike without any machinery. So we needed to be ground support and using chain hoists to do the manipulation. I think my main concern was the payload of all the spikes like hanging towards the front.
Okay.
That was one of my main concerns. Otherwise, I think to ensure that the structure is designed to be assembled safely, it's so unique and involved different vendors, so tight coordination was required. So with our project manager like Katie Warnock, Simon Lefebvre, Olivier Gascon, were in business, but they kept busy.
So now we have a pretty good idea of what Anne and Christian wanted for this project. And now we'll go with Luke and see what we did.
Okay, so now let's take a look at what we did here at Innovation with this beautiful project. So since we take a look at everything that we need to comply for the client, how did we manage to get this a reality? So the first thing that we needed to address was how did we split this ground, because it needed to be transportable in 9.5 feet section. So we take a look at the connection that we do here at Innovation for our standard truss, and we decided that spigot was the best connection to do the beautiful job for this project. And we needed a straight section for those connections because it's installed with spring pin and to be able to be more stronger than just welding the connection. So we managed to have a small straight portion that will not be weird to the eye inside the structure, and it will be hidden by the decorative that will attach to the main structure. So that's how we managed to do those 9.5 feet section. And also we came up with a design that will respect all the curve from the designer. Even with the cross brace, they are curved to be able to respect that vision. So I think this was it's a small accomplishment, but it was think to be able to respect all the curve from the design. The other big challenge was how do we manage to put that line of truss up in the air. So the line from the designer was a triangle post during the show, so we came up with the idea of having a temporary post inside of that triangle post. So basically at first we just installed the normal circular post, temporary post that you can see here, and with the roller blocks and the head on the top, we installed the motor at the temporary bracket at the bottom of the plate and the head of the post. So the motor will have a chain going through the pulleys on the top and attached to the roller block. So all the structure was built at man 8 at the bottom, so on the stage, and so you can pin all the truss together and then put all the motors and put everything up in the air. Then we can put the normal post, the normal triangular post at the right position, and we just drop all the structure, the corner block, on this triangle post. So, and then we can remove all the temporary posts. So once everything is pinned together with the triangular post, we can remove the temporary post, the head, the motor, the bracket at the bottom, and the permanent post has a door on its side. So this gives us the opportunity to remove that permanent temporary post. And then after that we put the door back, we put the decorative tubes, so these tubes, we put all of that in place, and the structure is almost ready to do the show. The only thing remaining is the spike. Again, I forget the spike. We can put all the spike at the man 8 again and lift everything with the spikes. This was a major challenge because you have all those weights that is at the front of the structure. So again, we calculated a temporary outpost that we can put on those corner blocks. So basically on the 2 center posts, and we calculated all the weights that was needed to be able to put everything level. So when you lift it, everything goes well, and the roller block doesn't put any pressure on the temporary post. And when you pin everything together, it's all taken by the permanent post after you remove the outrigger with the temporary weight. So all those calculations were done here at Ontario Innovation. We also provided all the interface load for the staging company at the bottom plate, so they were able to calculate and size all the receptacle that was receiving those plates. And just to say that all the interface with the staging company, even if we didn't discuss directly with them, we discussed through Cirque, we arrived at the right spot, both companies, and everything was pretty great for that. So, and it was pretty impressive with that length of the structure, so it's pretty big. You can see that on the stage right and stage left, there's no temporary post there because this post, which is made of normal truss, was backstage, so it was just covered in black, and yeah, it's only a truss post that was staying there for all the show because it was hidden of the public view. So that basically, it's a quick tour of the 3D, and let's talk about the analysis a little bit of what we do for those kind of projects. Okay, so a quick review of the kind of analysis that we do for those kind of projects here at Ontario Innovation. It's basically we do to all load case. We, as I discussed when we did the 3D, we take a look at all the parts, all the weight distribution on the structure. So those will be provided by the client, but we go through the model with the clients to make sure that we don't miss anything. So yeah, we will take a look at the weight distribution and make sure we don't miss anything. And then after that, all the load case. So do you have people walking on that? Do you have dynamic loads? Is there a forklift going to be near that structure? Do we need to do a load case where it can be hit by a lift truck or something like that? So, and basically we will do analytical calculations, so calcs in Excel. We will do a finite element model if it's needed. We will check all the different parts, to all the different interface to make sure we capture all the loading requirements and report everything that is required for the client. In this case, there was no guy wire, but that's something we can model as well, guy wires. We also, for this project, we also take a look at all the lifting. So when you have a lifting, you have sometimes Cat 0. So this will give a big impact on all your lifting points. So that's something we take a look in to make sure that all the brackets for the motor temporary posts were correctly sized. So that's basically what we do with those kind of projects. We'll take a look also at all the displacement, because yeah, the resistance of the material is important, but also your displacement. So you don't have to, you don't want to see a big displacement. So maybe it will pass on stress, but displacement is really important for the public comfort of safety and everything. So that's something really important to take a look at. Yeah, so that's basically what we do with those kind of analysis here for those kind of project, I would say. So thanks, that's it for my part.
For the next part, I have the honor to present you guys Charles, our production manager at the Innovation, and he will talk to us about what was the main challenge for this structure to be done in everything that is physical.
So my first challenge was to make myself clear about the drawing and to make sure that the guy who made the drawing will understand what I need on the shop to be able to build that kind of roller coaster. So we need to take the truss in half and to take the truss separately from right and left, so they're both pieces separately. I don't know if is that clear, but so when I have that part down, so we can make the curve on the flat surface. So now that we can build the two surfaces together, and now we got a truss, and you go on the two sides. So we go on the left and up or down and right or whatever. So my second biggest challenge after we make the roller coaster truss was to be sure that all the structure built together pins up, and with all the or what is that?
The mast or the pillar?
The pyre was on the good place, so I had to make a big drawing on the floor on the shop and measure it a couple of times, and take the guy in back of me to make sure that they measure it again and again and again, just to be sure that we're perfect. So I was good the first time, but you know, just to be sure. So, and we're good at it. So when we built all the structure together on the shop, we pinned that and it worked perfectly. Well,
so I can see that's already many challenges that you had. So what about the spikes? What was the challenge for these ones? Because you can see that they have like all the different angle, all the different length.
The first time I see the drawing, just say, oh my god, this guy is insane. But we had to build it, so and we did.
Yeah.
Luc came up with a pretty good idea that we for a jig, because you know there's some funny angle all around, and the truss was already in two angle. So how can we build that? So Luc came out with a pretty good, nice idea to build a jig that we just put it on the both end, and it give it all the angle on the different spike on the truss, and it worked pretty well. So I thought it was maybe a job for a week long or something like that, but we did it in one day. So
pretty quick. Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool. And do you have any things to add to that, or that was pretty much like the main challenge you had to face during that project?
The time schedule was pretty
rough. Yeah.
It was pretty rough, but
that's usually show business.
exactly. So
yeah,
say the deadline. We gotta live with it. So.
Yeah, cool.
But we deliver.
But thank you for your time, and we hope you guys will appreciate it. And if you have any more questions, that you can just ask us, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. We were well supported by your team. Everything was in place, all the tools. For sure, it took a few transfers to get the grasp out of everything, because it's a complex structure with a lot of steps that needed to be followed. But I was pretty confident that this piece would go well on the road. So yeah, I was reassured after the first install.
Le week-end du montage où on montait le décor puis qu'on venait d'installer la structure, la première réaction que j'ai eue quand je suis rentrée dans le chapiteau, c'est « Ah, c'est ma maquette! » On amène un projet de design à un niveau, puis la fabrication, c'est pas exactement comment ça a été. C'est pas exactement de la façon dont on l'avait imaginé pour toutes sortes de raisons, puis on fait souvent des compromis. Mais dans ce cas-ci, on en a fait des compromis, mais on a eu quand même cette rigueur de faire en sorte que le résultat final, il ressemble vraiment à mes rendus dessins et à la petite maquette 3D qui servait d'éléments d'outils de travail en réunion. Donc, il n'y a pas eu de surprise réelle. Mais moi, je trouvais ça drôle parce que on aurait dit que personne me parlait du décor. Puis je me dis, mon Dieu, il n'y a pas eu d'impact. Mais non, c'est parce que c'est exactement ce qu'on avait sous les yeux depuis des mois.
Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you have any question or on certain details that we miss, leave a comment down below, and we'll be very glad to answer that. And remember, guys, subscribe as well. And very important, quality equals safety.